Hello everyone, I'm back on. I gotta change my little guy and finish that story I was gonna try to tell you guys. Well, I have another story. When my grandma had passed away, no, when my brother passed away, take that back. When my brother had passed away, I had to go to the store and I wanted to make some barbecues for people that are going to come over because of my brother being, gone and that. And when I came back and when I pulled into my driveway, there was and I wish I had a camera at that time. There was I'm gonna put him in this. Sorry guys, I'll only tell you this and I'll tell you the story. This is a little Star Wars thing here. You are too cool on that, and then it's got pictures of the Star Wars. They got that Chewie and CP3O, I think, and then they got the child on this one. So I'm going to put this on him. Put something long on him today because it is a little chilly. But we're just going to put that on him. And to the story that I was explaining to you guys was when me and my youngest daughter came with me to go do some running with me. And when we came back, I pulled into our driveway area because I lived in a trailer park, and I pulled into the driveway to get to my trailer, and there was a female doe standing right there in my way. And I'm like, what the heck? And I was honking at the thing, turning my lights on and off, and making so she would move so I can get out of the way for cars that are coming into the trailer park. I won't be in their way. So she did move, and so I moved on. Well, then I got out of my car, and the deer was in front of me. She was in our yard, mine and my husband's yard, and I'm freaking out. I'm like, what the heck? Why is there a female doe in here? So I quick told my husband about it. There's a deer out here in the yard, and he didn't believe me. I says, yeah, there is, and I wanted to get my camera to take a picture of her. When I went to go do that, she disappeared, and then I looked out when I looked outside and stuff. Then I heard a crash. Bang! I thought, oh gosh, she got hit. And I was sad about that. But I was impressed. It's like this deer, this doe was in my yard. The doe followed me to my yard, basically. And I'm like freaking out. I'm like, oh my God, I've never seen this before. And then I said to myself, well, maybe that was Grandma telling me that Rob was okay. Because that's, my brother had passed away. And then I seen this doe. I'm like, what the heck? I kind of freaked me out there for a second. I thought, well, wait, am I seeing things? And I had to ask my daughter about it, and she said, yeah, Mom, there was a doe. That was a doe. I'm like, yeah, but what the heck is that doe doing in the yard or being over there? And then I got to thinking, well, my brother had passed away, and I thought it was Grandma coming to tell me that Rob's okay. It's just so weird because we had one at my grandpa's house. The deer came. It was a female deer, and then when my brother died, a female deer was in my way. Wouldn't move, and then when it moved, and I pulled into my driveway, the deer was right there in front of me. And I'm freaking out. I'm like, what the heck? I said, this is so unreal. I'm like, who? I looked at Cassandra, my youngest, and I says, are you seeing what I'm seeing? And she's like, yeah. She couldn't believe it either. And I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like, that might have been Grandma coming or telling me that Rob's okay. She's with Grandma now. He's with Grandma now, not she. But that was just one weird thing. I mean, my mom had seen one in Grandpa's yard, and my dad, and I seen one in our yard. And it was a doe, so I said, well, maybe that's Grandma coming in and saying that, you know, Rob's with me and he's okay. But then I don't know if the deer, I heard a crash, and I didn't think it was the deer. Then I thought, well, gee, it might have been the deer because the deer was in my yard, and now it's out on the highway. I'm like, oh my gosh. What the heck? I mean, this is so unbelievable. But I actually seen it, and I didn't take pictures. I was trying to, but then the deer went away. As soon as I got out of my car and I was going to go over there by her, you know, I kind of went the opposite way because I didn't want to get kicked or anything like that. And I'm like, this cannot be Grandma. I'm like, well, it was a female deer. So I'm like, what the heck? What's going on? And you know, and it happened, and it just, I was unbelievable. It was unbelievable. Because I know Grandma, she liked deer, so I didn't know what she was going to come back as, and that's what we were thinking, that was Grandma, or my mom and Dad and Grandpa were thinking that was Grandma coming home, saying she's fine. But then I seen another doe in my yard, and in my way I couldn't move. I didn't want to hit it. It's like, and I'm honking my horn, doing my high beams, low, high, whatever, and it would not move. And then finally it moved, and I didn't realize the deer was following me to my driveway. And then she was in front of my car, staring at me. I'm like, am I seeing ghosts or what? It was just so bizarre. I mean, you hear, you know, people that when they go away, they always come back with being something. A reincarnation, I think I don't know how to say it, but I'm like, that has to be my Grandma. And I know there's stories out there that, you know, cardinals, female and the males, if they come, because I have a bird feeder outside, because we went and got some bird food so I could feed my birds and squirrels, and I seen a female cardinal, and I'm like, that's my mom. Then pretty soon I see the male. I says, that's my brother. Or my mom, or my dad. It's just so bizarre. I don't know if my dad liked cardinals, but I think my mom did. I think she liked the cardinals. So I think she's a cardinal. I'm not sure, but my dad would be. But it's just so bizarre. I'm like, I cannot believe it. It's like, why is it happening? I don't know if you guys believe in that stuff. I believe in it because my grandma had passed away when that deer walked into the yard. And that must have been Grandma coming to say she's fine and she's home and she's okay. And then me losing my brother, a female doe, just stood in my way, wouldn't move. And then when it moved, she followed me into my yard, into my house. Well, not into my house, but she followed me right to my house, or my trailer. I was so freaked out. And to this day, I don't know. And if I come back, if I die and come back as something, I'd probably come back as a deer myself, because I like deer. I like fawns, I like, like Bambi. But it's just so bizarre because it happened to me twice. Or once for me, but once for my mom. But I mean, saying that my mom seen one, a female doe, and then I see one. It was in my yard, and I'm freaking out. I've never experienced that, but man, I got chills on top of chills, like you wouldn't believe it. I'm like, man, that's Grandma coming back and telling me that Rob's okay. I mean, like, it's just weird. I don't know if it's anything like that's ever happened to you guys, but if it has happened to you guys gonna have to let me know what you did or how you reacted, because that reacted to me when my brother passed away, and there was a female doe. I seen it. She was right there in front of me, wouldn't move, and I'm honking my horn, doing the lights, flickering them on and off, and all that, and and then the deer just disappears. That is so unbelievable. If my youngest was here, she's at work, but if my youngest was here, she would tell you guys the same thing. She didn't believe it. She couldn't believe it. You know, it is true. It's actually happened. Because my brother died in 2000. Yeah. He died, he was in a coma and didn't come out of it, so he died in a diabetic coma. And I was going to donate one of my kidneys to my brother. And he never made it to that. But it's just so bizarre when my grandma died, my mom seen a female doe. And now when my brother died, I seen the female doe. I don't know. It's just bizarre. And there's another thing I wanted to say. When I was at my grandma's day that she passed away, everybody came, all of her brother or sons and daughters came down, and I came with, well, of course, I came then. When she died, I swear, now this is what I heard. Where my grandma and grandpa's closet was, it was right at the edge of the stairs to going up to the second floor. And I swear I heard somebody in there taking clothes off the hanger and putting them in a suitcase. I think that was my grandma. I don't know. I've got goosebumps already because telling that story, it's bizarre. You never think something like that you think it and then you hear it or see it. It's just bizarre. Very bizarre. I mean, I don't know. It's just so hard for me to just, what the heck's going on? What the heck? And not, and then I seen that now. And then when my mom and dad passed away, well, my mom died of cancer. My dad passed away of old age. I think he had Alzheimer's so bad that I don't know if it was Alzheimer's or what, but they said it was just because of old age. And then they said that the autopsy, that when they did my dad, they said that, your dad's lungs were black. And I go, yeah, it's from where he was working when he worked in the foundry. And my dad had COPD, and he had half of his stomach. He had heart problems or stomach problems or something like that. And it was hard as he got older. It was just getting too hard for him to walk around. So then he had gotten a wheelchair, and he used it wherever he went. When we went to the store or went somewhere, he'd get in his little wheelchair and he just drive around like nothing. And my mom, I took care of my mom until she passed away, and I know I never ever want to experience that again. I never want to see anybody else die, because man, when I seen my mom died, my heart went down. And it gave me chills, and I'm like, oh my God, all these things. It's just so bizarre. So bizarre. So, enough of my chitter chatting. I am gonna talk at you guys in my next video. Please like, share my video. Hit the notification bell so you do not miss any of my videos, and you guys all have a great day. Bye.